Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Sukkah Daf Zion, Sukkah 7. I'm actually in a different shul here, Kilos B'nai Torah, a different shul. Couldn't work out this morning, man. Shmuel was taking care of personal matters. Do you want to tell us what those personal matters
Nothing
are?
personal.
Oh,
My
he just
kid
said he
was
dropped off his
my
kid at
daughter.
school.
No, my daughter was a little sick. Okay.
His daughter was sick. I want to tell you something, Shmuel. My mother wrote in a comment. Remember a couple of shiurim ago you said, you give us 22 minutes, we give you the daf?
Yes.
My mother saw the shear. She heard the comment. She
Yeah.
liked it. She
Yeah.
she wrote a comment. She said, "That's a great slogan. You give us 22 minutes. You give us a daf."
Wow.
Shmuel,
But that means you have to cut it down to 22 minutes.
yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that, but I just want to tell
Okay.
you, you have a fan club
Or I
out
have a
there.
better idea. You could write, you give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the daf, and then you write sort of. You know what I'm saying?
Sort of
We'll
within
get
eight
sort of,
minutes.
yeah, within like 5 minutes, give or take,
I hear. Listen, you should be proud that my
Oh,
mother
that's
gave
great.
you a
Thank you.
compliment.
Thank you, Mom.
She's not your mother.
Oh,
She's my
no.
mother. You
All right.
could, whatever. She could be part of. If you're part of the show
Thank
for
you.
long enough, if you stay for a year, you can call her mom. All right, that's the deal. All right, we're gonna start from the bottom of Vavam and Vez. The Gemara says that there's a tefach. Sukkah is good with two walls on a tefach. The Gemara says the third line from the bottom. Also tefach hechan ma'amido. That tefach, where do you put it? Amarav mamido keneged hayotza. You put it. Remember we were talking about up until now. We're talking about shtayim kehilchasan. You have a wall that forms a right angle, two walls next to each other. So you put it yotze tefach that's coming from the outside of one of the walls. So it has to be touching one of the walls. Adjacent. Amarav mamido keneged hayotze. Amri le Rav Kahana v'Ravasi. The Rav yamidino keneged rosh tor. They say better yet. Put it in that place. Put it touching the wall, adjacent to that wall, but put it on a diagonal, so therefore it appears like you have four walls. Shasik Rav. Rav was silent. Either the article says either because he had nothing to say, it was too good of a question, or he wasn't unimpressed by their question. Itmar Nami Amar Shmuel Mishmei Lev Mamido Keneged Hayotze.
I don't say it was four walls. It looks like it's like I don't know, three walls. No,
if you see the pictures, I think all the Gemaras have a little picture on the top what it looks like.
Yes.
So that's Rosh Tor.
Okay, Rosh Tor. That's interesting.
If you're wondering.
Okay, thank you.
They actually pay the Gemara, people who wrote the Gemara, they pay hundreds of dollars for people to make these diagrams.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, hundreds of dollars. Maybe thousands of dollars. I don't know. They're called graphic artists. You know. I don't know. Do they? I don't know. Maybe.
Wow, and you could always say to your grandchildren, "That's my picture in the Gemara." Okay.
The more advanced your Gemara is, the further on your edition of Oza Hadar is, the more advanced these pictures get. I see he has a more advanced picture than mine.
Oh, yeah.
So he has the newer Oza Hadar. They get more.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Soon there's not going to be words on the Gemara. There's going to be pictures. Okay, let's go on. Amar Shmuel Idmar Nami Amar Shmuel Mishmei Levi Mamido Keneged Hayotze. You put it like we said before. You don't put like a roast tor. You put it like just adjacent to make a partial third wall. Simon v'aitim Rav Shua ben Levi Amar Osel Tevach Sochik Mamidu v'Pachos Mishlosh Tefachim Samach L'Dofen V'Chol Pachos Mishlosh Samach L'Dofen Kalavadam. He says you need a little more. What you do is instead of taking a tevach, regular tevach is about four its bows, four finger breaths right together. So you do a tefach sochik, you do where they're more relaxed. The four tefachim are a little more relaxed, so it's a little bigger than a tefach. And you put it within a little less than three tefachim away from one of the walls. So therefore, Lavud closes that space. So it's like you have a wall that's four tefachim. Why? So the reason is because the hechsher sukkah is 7 tefachim for a wall. So therefore, you have 4. You have rov. The Rishonim asked the question. They say, really, you don't need exactly 3 tefachim in a tefach sochik. When not a tefach sochik, it would be 3.7, 3.8 tefachim. That's already a rov of 7 tefachim.
Right.
What do you have to say to that question, Shmuel?
Good question.
Good question. The Ran answers that a wall of arba is considered chashuv. Find that 4 is considered a chashuv number.
Right.
Okay. Amar Rav Yehuda Sukkah Asuya Kamavoy. New case. Sukkah Asuya Kamavoy. Now the two walls are not next to each other. The two walls are across from each other like a mavoy. or you have houses on two sides of the street. Kshera, it's kshara. But also tefach ma'amido l'chol ruach sheyirteh. Where do you put the tefach? You put it wherever you want, next to one of the walls. You take a board of 4 tefachim, and you do this lavud thing, put it within 3 tefachim on the other wall. You have a wall about 7 tefachim. So now you have 3 walls, at least 7 tefachim, and that is going to be your sukkah. So when I asked the question, what's the first question, Shmuel? What's the obvious question over here?
Yeah.
Shmuel, you're supposed to review the sugya.
Sorry.
Just because you have personal matters doesn't mean you don't have an excuse not to review the Gemara beforehand. I want you to review it at least 3 times, like I do. All right. You asked a question similar to this on Daf Dalet. The Gemara says, "Maishna hasam the kamar sagi b'tevach sochek. Maishna hachad the kamar b'ya pasar ba." Why over there you need just a tevach sochek to make a wall of 4 tefachim? Here you need 7 tefachim.
Oh, very good question.
And there you have 2 walls that are next to each other, Kehilchasan, and the best possible option. They're next to each other. Right. It's probably the most protection from the elements. Then you just need a 3rd wall of 4 tefachim together with the tefach. There, you don't have 2 walls next to each other. You have 2 walls across from each other. So therefore, you need this wall of 7 by combining the lavud with the pasar ba.
They could be far away. I mean, these walls. I mean, it doesn't tell you how far they could be.
No, it has to be within 3 tefachim of one of the walls.
Yes, and one of the walls.
And then one of the walls could be further away.
Further away. I mean, how far away?
How far away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Right? It's a good question. I don't know. I think it could be some say you're right. It has to be within 3 tefachim of both walls.
Really?
I don't know.
I mean, if you have 2 walls next to each other. It seems
from the picture I have over here that it's really in the middle, but from your picture it seems like it's actually more towards one. Mine is exactly in the middle, so we'll have to talk to what do they call the graphic artists, the people who do graphics? Anyway, the
graphicologists?
Graphicologists. I don't know. The graphicologists, the graphic artists, why in this edition they put it in the middle and the other edition next to each other.
Very interesting question. Okay.
All right. The Gemara says, "I'm a Rav of any teras el b'suras al-pesach." Rav says a big chiddush over here that the tefach sochik we're talking about before is not exactly just you put 1 tefach and you put within 3 tefachim on the wall. You have to actually make out of the tefach. You split the tefach into 2 parts, 2 half tefachim. You make 2 posts and you make a doorway. The 3rd wall is really a doorway, and it's the whole 3rd side. The whole 3rd side. And tefach sochik just means that you split the tefach into 2. Half of the tefach makes up 1 post, half makes another post, and on top you have a crossbeam, which makes it a doorway. So therefore, that's your 3rd wall.
Wow,
that's what Rava says. Yes, he learns the din of tefach. That's the halacha mishnah of tefach.
When you actually have to cut that tefach in 2.
Yes, that's because it says tefach. Well, part of the halacha mishnah is a tefach. So what do you do with the fact that it has to be a tefach? If it's surah as a pesach, you shouldn't need a tefach. So the chiddush is that you need a tefach in those 2 posts combined. Ikadamri, I'm a Rava of it's Srichanami surahs. Where were we? Ikadamri, I'm a Rava in Teres Nami surahs a pesach. Second Ikadamri, a Rava says you can do either one. Either you can have the tefach sochek, like we mentioned before. You could just have a full tefach sochek and put it within 3 tefachim, or you can just make a surahs a pesach. Presumably even, or probably with the 2 posts combining for tefach sochik. Ikeda amri amarava sricha nami surah pesach. Third man Amar Rava says you need 2 things. You need a tefach sochik, meaning one of the posts has to be at least a tefach sochik thick, and you can put it within 3 tefachim of the wall. And then you need a doorway, a surah pesach, for the rest of the wall. So you need one of the posts has to be a tefach sochik. The other post could be as thick as you want it to be, and then you have to have a crossbeam on top of it. So you need both. You need a surah pesach and you need a tefach sochik.
What is a tefach sochik?
Tefach sochik is a tefach is 4 etzbos, 4 finger breaths. Yeah. Tefach sochik is like laughing. Sochik, tefach is laugh. So it laugh when you laugh, your mouth widens a little bit. Right. So it's like a more relaxed 4 etzbos. Right. There was a little bigger than regular tefach, halachi tefach.
And this is
the reason is because you want
space. This tefach sochik is just ear space. What is this?
It's a measurement.
I know, but what do you measure?
You're putting a piece of wood there, a piece of whatever you make your walls out of.
Yeah, you're putting it within a tefach.
Within 3 tvachim.
Within
Love
three
it.
tefach.
Because love it joins
Oh, love it.
together. A
Oh,
space of
okay.
less than 3 tvachim. That's why you need tefach sochik.
Oh.
It was just exactly a tefach. Love it says anything which is less than 3 tvachim. It's exactly 3 tvachim. You can't use love it. Therefore, you need a tefach sochik.
So you
A
got
little bigger than a tefach, and then less
you have
combined
three,
for
it's like
4.
together.
It's 4 tvach, which is a rov. Okay.
Okay.
Rashi Ashkel Rav Kahana the Ka'avi Tevach Sochik. Rashi found Rav Kahana that he was doing Tevach Sochik. The Ka'avi Tzuras Pesach. He was doing both. Amalei Lo Savar Lamar Lahad Rava Dam Rava and Iteres Nami B'Tzuras Pesach. Don't you hold like the second Ikadamri of Rava that you could do either or? Amalei Anak Idach Lishna the Rava Srili the Amar Rava V'Sricha Nami B'Tzuras Pesach. I hold like the third Lishna, which I guess how we're Machmir LaHalacha is that you need also Tzuras Pesach and you need a Tevach Sochik.
Oh my gosh, and that's the halacha. No.
This is the halacha. It's Mach L'Chumra. I mean, there is a gimel over here. It seems like the Rambam Paskins that you do need both. Maybe the halacha. It's not a halachic shir.
Okay.
Let me ask this guy. What's your name? Mashem Shalcha?
Hashem Shali?
Mashem Shalcha? Kreuzer. I tell you a day al tefach sochik behilchos Sukkah. Shtayim kihilchos tefach sochik.
Daf Yomi.
Lamata Masechah Sukkah? לא למדת? אוקיי. צריך ללמוד, זה דף יומי. תבוא לשיר שלי. תבוא לשיר שלי. תבוא לשיר שלי. Come to my שיר. אני מוסר שיר על דף יומי, כן. מה השם שלך? קרויזר? כן. תגיד שלום לכולם. שלום. זה קרויזר.
Okay, weiter. Okay.
אוקיי.
Shtayim kihilchos.
I'm a Rava, v'chein l'Shabbos. Rava says also for Shabbos. Migu the Havi Adofin Linyan Sukkah, Havi Adofin Linyan Shabbos. A big chiddush over here. He says on Sukkahs of Shabbos, when you have your Sukkah, so what we're saying now that a Sukkah only needs 2 walls and a tevach. Now a Rosh Yachid on Shabbos needs 3 walls, at least 3 full walls. So halach is if you make your Sukkah out of a tevach sochik, and you have only 2 walls and a tefach, so if you throw into that from Rishus Harabim to Shul you're going to be chayiv on Shabbos. We treat it as Shul Yachid, and also the Kula, you could transfer from one Rishus Yachid to another to that. It's considered Shul Yachid, not Rishus Harabim. Migu, it's a migu. Migu, have you done for the Sukkah, have you done for the Shabbos? Basically, Abaye, and we are on migu. We say this concept of migu. Vatanya, dofen Sukkah, gedofen Shabbos. So eventually, yehi ben kanal chavero shalosh tvachim. The halachic walls of Sukkah are like Shabbos. One of the halachas is that by Shabbos also that you can rely on love, but part of your walls could be within 3 tvachim. The Gemara in Eruvin talks about if you're stuck in the desert or whatever, you can put either rows up or rows down of bars, let's say, or ropes within 3 tvachim of each other, and it would technically be good. Because of love, it would close all the walls. But Shabbos is more. If you say Shabbos also Sukkah, Shabbos is more chumrah than Sukkah. Shabbos ain't teres el ba'amin and rubal powers. Even though you can use love to close the walls, you need that in the sum of all the walls should be more closed space than open space. Hashem came with Sukkah, which is not true by Sukkah. So my love, Yisera Shah, on Sukkah, a lot of people rely on loved straps. In America, it's very prevalent. People have these canvas sukkahs. Here in Israel, people really machmir to have the wood sukkahs, the chazanish sukkahs. But in America, they have these canvas sukkahs, and the sukkahs go back and forth in the wind. So it's a problem because if it moves too much in the wind, there's technically on a wall, let's say. So they have these loved straps. You know what a loved strap is? You just take straps and you put them within 3 tvachim of each other, and that
tie the loved. It shouldn't run
yes. No, you don't tie it down. You just that's become your new wall. The loved straps are within 3 tvachim of each other. So loved closes all the walls. So it's like it's closed area. So until 10 tvachim, you do that. Is it an interesting story? The loved straps.
That really works.
I didn't have loved straps. I tried doing it with string once, and it didn't go over too well. The string was falling down. I was crying, and I wasn't being used in the mitzvah of Sukkah. My father was laughing. He was laughing on this machmir guy. He doesn't rely on my canvas Sukkah. The canvas Sukkah that we've had for the past 30 years. He's had that canvas Sukkah since he got married. The blue and yellow one. Yeah, exactly. That one.
Yeah, we had that the whole while. I think that was the only one.
It's a bestseller, that one.
Yeah, but they did flap. They really did flap with those like.
They write the words on the pictures.
Aluminum poles. Remember?
Yeah, the poles. Yeah. Yeah, we had that. That's what we had. My father still uses that.
Sure, yeah,
30. He married 40
still
years,
use
more
it?
than
Wow.
40 years.
That's
He has the same blue and yellow sukkah, the
yeah,
canvas.
sure. That was the.
Upgrade, fiberglass, Liddon Brothers. Go call Liddon Brothers. I'm
Now they have
advertising
this-
for them.
what is it? Sorry, they have now
The
these-
Liddon Brothers. They build sukkahs for you.
Oh,
They build.
really?
Yeah, they have great stuff. Fiberglass. They have new materials. All right. You know what it says? We have to speed up a little bit over here. Yisir Shabbos a Sukkah. Shabbos in Teres El Bamon of Arts Mashiach came a Sukkah. My love Yisir. What does this mean? My love Yisir Shabbos is the Sukkah. Sukkah. That the Shabbos of Sukkah is more machmir than Sukkah itself. Regular Sukkah, not in Shabbos. Below Amrin on Migu, and we don't say Migu. That Shabbos of Sukkah, we're machmir. We don't treat it like a Sukkah. We don't treat it like a Sukkah. So the Gemara says, "Lo Yisera Shabbos the Amal Shabbos the Sukkah." The kavanah of the Mishnah was that Amun Ruba Paritz is only a chumrah on Shabbos, but not on Shabbos the Sukkah. If you have a structure which is a Sukkah on Sukkah falls out on Shabbos, then you don't need Amun Ruba Paritz, right? Just like it's Rosh Hashanah with two in the temple, you don't need Amun Ruba Paritz. Ihachi listinami. If that's true, listinami Yisera Sukkah the Alma Sukkah the Shabbos. Say the other way also that Sukkah, a regular Sukkah, is more chomer than a regular Sukkah of Shabbos. The Sukkah, the Alma Baya Tevach Sochek. A regular Sukkah during the week, it needs a Tevach Sochek, a big Tevach. Sukkah the Shabbos, Lo Baya Tevach Sochek, V'Sagi B'Lechi. You can technically use two walls and a Lechi. The Ha'atu, the Amr, Sirich Agabi Mabu, Sheish Lechi, kosher. Rava himself says, that we'll see later on, that if you have a mavoi, which, houses on two sides or walls on two sides, and you put a lechi, it's a mavoi, you put a lechi. A lechi does not have to be a tefach. It can be even less than a tefach.
What is a lechi?
A post, a small post, a thin post. So, and you put schach on top of that mavoi, it's kosher. It's kosher on Sukkot.
We just said all
we're going to see because it's a special halacha because of migu.
On Shabbos?
Yeah, because of migu. Just like you say migu for Sukkah to Shabbos, Shabbos to Sukkah.
Wow. Okay.
So the Gemara says you don't have to say that. Hula, it's tzricha. You don't have to say the chiddush from Shabbos to Sukkah. Hashem killed the chamirta from Sukkah to Shabbos. We learn halachas from the kal to the chumer. They even be mechayiv a person skila for throwing into Shusay Yachid. I mean, on the chamirta to the kill to the kosher came from the chumer from Shabbos to Sukkah. You don't have to tell me we say migo. Of course you say migo. Gufa. Amar Rav. We're going to go back to this teaching. Zayam Adbeis. Sichach Gabi Mabu Jesh Alechi Kshera. Amarav. A sicha gagabi pelsi biro is kosher. Like we said before, if you put your slach on top of a mavoi that has a lech, it's kosher, because of the halacha on Sukkah of Shabbos. Because the halacha is kosher for a mavoi on Shabbos, it's kosher for a Sukkah. And also, if you're misachik on pasi biros is a halacha. And people went to the regel, they had these pits filled with water, the wells of water, and they had to take from the wells to outside, which is the Carmelis Sharabim, and the wells were Rosh Hashanah. So how are you going to carry from Rosh Hashanah to Sharabim? So they made it takana that you can put pasi biros. You can put 4 corners. Each corner has an amma sticking out in each direction, and you put 4 of those double posts around the well, and it transfers it makes it into Rosh Hashanah, so you can carry the water from the well to outside. You can drink the water. The Ole Regalim had a way to drink the water. So if you're Masachik on, let's say on one, I think some posts can say it's talking about Dafka if it's around the well. Even if it's not around the well, if you, just like by Shabbos, the Pasibiros work to make a Shul Yachid, so it also works to make it kosher walls of a Sukkah, even though normally you need 2 walls of Zion Tfachim, and you don't have it over here. Still a Pasibiros, you put schach on top of it, it's a good Sukkah. That's what Rava says. So the Gemara says, "Sricha, you need both teachings." Yes, meaning Maboy Mishum Dikam Shtei Defanos Maliyasa. A Maboy, they have 2 good walls. Aval Gabi Pasibirosh, the Lake Shtei Defanos Maliyasa. You don't have 7 Tfachim walls. And Malach, you say it's no good. V'yash meaning Pasibirosh Mishum Dikam Shamar Bad Defanos. You technically have 4 walls. I'll say Maboy, the Lake Shamar Bad Defanos. You only have 2 walls really in Alechi. And Malach, I would say it's not good. Kamash Milan. That we say migo and it's kosher. V'yash ma'ina hani tarti mechamirta lekiltiv. We just said these halachas that is good for sukkah and pasibiros and mavoi. That would I would say we learn from Shabbos to the chomer to the kula to hilchos sukkah, which is only a mitzvah essay. Avam mekilta lechamirta. But learning from sukkah, the first day, remember he said migo that it's considered a sukkah with a tefach and 2 walls. L'chamer to the Shabbos, saying that you make it into Rosh Hashanah on Shabbos, I would say you don't say that much. Tzricha, Kamashman Rabbah, we do say migo even in that case, l'chumra. Mishnah continues, Shechamsa Meruba Mitzilsa. So the Mishnah says if the schach does not provide enough shade, that the majority of your schach, majority on top of your sukkah is sunlight and not schach, so it's possible. It's only talking about the actual schach, but if your walls, let's say the walls are very porous and a lot of sunlight gets in them and there's not a lot of protection, that's still kosher. You have to make sure there's the din of Chamsum Rum Mitzilsa even by the walls. Amar of Yemar Bar Shalmi Mishmei Dabai. My time with Rabbi Yoshia, what's the reason of Yoshia? D'chsev b'sakos ala aron es paroches. You should put on top of the aron the paroches. The paroches intervene between the kodesh and the kodesh hakdashim. It's the curtain there. Paroches mechitzi. Paroches was really a wall. V'akariye rachmana schach, and the Torah called it schach, which means something like covering something. So if it's called schach, so we see a wall could even be called schach, and therefore the dinim of walls would have to have the dinim of the schach, and there'd be a psul of chamsum rum mitzilsa even by the walls. Alma mechitza k'schach bainan. So you see the mechitza has to be like schach. Rabbanan ahu the neik of beipurte the mechitza k'schach. Rava says that you just bend over the parokas a little bit on top so that it looks like schach, but it's not teaching you that walls are like schach. Amar Abaye. Abaye is going to say a big chiddush, not a big chiddush. He's going to say a grouping over here. Rabbi Yeshia, Rabbi Huda, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Gamliel, Beit Shammai, Rabbi Lezer, Chayrim. Chayrim is right. Meir Kulu Svirluhu Sukkah Diras Kvabain. And they all hold that your sukkah has to be a Diras Kva. It has to be something which is a permanent structure. The Gemara is going to delineate where we know these from, delineate these opinions. Rabbi design. Rabbi Omer Kol Sukkah Shein Ba'arba Amos Arba Amos Psula. It has to be like a house. Like we saw, Bayis has to be 4 amos. Like 4 amos has to be a permanent structure. So therefore, you need that by a sukkah. So you see, you need Ziras Kva. Rabbi Yoshi had the Amran. Rabbi Yoshi just said you need also by the walls the Chamsum Mitzilsa. So you can't just build walls that are flimsy. It has to be walls that actually protect you from the sun. Rabbi Yehuda the stand Sukkah Sheik Vol Lamalam Esrmama. Yehuda says sukkah that's taller than 20 amos. Rabbi Yehuda Mashra. Rabbi Yehuda allows you to have a sukkah above 20 amos. We're going to see in a second. I have a big question on this. Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon Desanya Shaim Gilchasam Gimel Afilu Tefach. Shimon Omer Gimel Gilchasam Dal Afilu Tefach. We learned in the Gemara before. He needs it to have at least 3 walls and a tefach in order to be a more permanent structure. Rabbi Gamliel Desanya Osis Sukoso Barosha Agalo Barosha Sfina. Rabbi Gamliel Postel Rekiva Machshir. You make your sukkah on top of a wagon, moving wagon, or on top of a boat. So the wagon on top of a boat is going to get blown off, and on top of the wagon it's moving, so it's not considered a permanent fixture, permanent structure. You know, they have those the trailers. What are the moving homes? What are they called? Trailers. You know, where you live. You
Mobile homes.
Mobile homes. Trailer, no?
A trailer, yeah. Call it trailer.
Yeah. So
a Winnebago.
Maybe that's what the Gemara is talking about over here. Machlokes Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Gamliel says it's not a permanent structure. Rabbi Akiva would say it is kosher. Beit Shammai does not. Mishahaya Rosh Ruba B'Sukkah V'Shulchan B'Sukkah Bayis. Shammai says someone his head and his body is in the sukkah, but his shulchan where he's eating from is in the house. Beit Shammai posted with Hilmachshir. Beit Shammai says you're not yotzei mitzvah of eating. And Beit Shammai said you're machshir because Beit Shammai says we have to make sure you're sitting in the sukkah. They're worried you're going to go after your table. So you see in these diras kfa. This is related to machlokes. Whether these two machlokesim by Sukkah Gedol and Sukkah Katan are related. We talked about in Daf Gimel. This is really where they bring it from. Lezer Destana Osis a koso kamin srif. Oshasam chalakosa. Lezer posel fisha in lagag. V'cham machshir. Let's say you make a sukkah. The article describes as a conical structure. It's like a cone, and there's no roof. The walls and the roof are really the same thing. Or you put schach as the wall, a diagonal, and it's leaning like on the wall. Teepee, yeah, a teepee. Indians. Yeah. So you have any experience?
Any Jewish Indians? There are Jewish Indians.
Isn't your cousin a Jewish Indian?
He's a shmuel.
What's your cousin's name? What's your cousin's name?
What's my cousin's name?
He's a Jewish Indian, no?
Yes. His name is.
He's from Cleveland, right? The Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians. They're actually thinking about switching the name of Cleveland Indians. I think they might have switched it.
Running. What do they have these names? There's none of these names. You know, like
Cleveland Indians, they might change the name. They changed the name of Washington Redskins.
Oh, I don't know that.
They changed it to the Washington Football Team
Really?
because it
Oh,
was
it's-
offensive to the Native
Yeah,
Americans.
you heard that? They're changing the name. The Gypsy Moths. You know, the Gypsy Moths. They have these moths. Gypsy Moths. They want to change the name for the
It's
Gypsy.
a type of moth.
Gypsy Moths. Yeah, used to be in the country. You see them all over the trees. They build these big cocoons, like these big tents, which has to do again with Sukkah, the tent. They build like these tents in the trees. But they say it's not. We're changing the name because Gypsy
Right.
is considered a derogatory name for these.
You heard about this news? Two Orthodox baseball players were drafted
Oh, you joking?
in the
Really?
draft. Really, even one guy's the son of the coach at YU. I went to
Really?
school with his brother and
Really?
in school with him. He's 2 years older than me. Steinmetz, Jacob Steinmetz.
You're joking.
Third round, yeah. He plays. He'll play on Shabbos. He keeps Shabbos. He doesn't eat malach on Shabbos, and he eats kosher. And but he will play boy baseball on Shabbos. He'll walk to the park. He won't drive there. The other guy who was picked in the 20th round, the guy from Nevada, he actually refuses to play on Shabbos. He's
Really?
Sandy Koufax 2.0.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very proud of it. But he's in the 20th round. He was in the last
That would
round.
be great if they play against each other and both of them don't play on Shabbos. You're gonna have an interesting game. Where's the pitcher? Oh, there's no pitcher.
And the great thing about
And
baseball is
everybody's
you don't
waiting
have
for
to.
a
You
pitcher
don't.
to come out of the dugout.
You don't have to
And there's no pitcher. Like for 5 hours, they're sitting in the sun until
I
everybody
think
goes
they'll
home.
schedule somebody
That
else
would
for
be
that
really
day.
amazing.
I think they'll skip his start. But
What?
the great thing about baseball is that's really the only. Actually, that's not true. On football, you wear a helmet, and hockey also you wear a helmet. Baseball, you wear a baseball cap.
Oh, that's
Basketball, there's
interesting.
no. You don't wear a cap in basketball. So
That's an interesting
he has
thing.
a head covering built in. Okay.
Imagine if all of them would be from, like they would come like 2 hours late to
Imagine
the game. I had to
Shmuel
daven
playing
mincha.
baseball.
The middle of the thing. that's
Shmuel, what position do you play? I was a shortstop
Whenever
and a pitcher.
They
What
used to,
position
they
do you
used to give
play?
me the way far outfield, like
You
really
were the
far.
deep right.
Deep outfield. That's right.
Deep right. All right. No one hit the ball.
No one hit the ball.
All right.
That's right.
So the Gemara
They did
says,
hit the ball to me. That
what?
was a home run. Yeah.
There's a home run. All right. Shmuel, there's always room to do tshuva. You can always improve. Just practice a little bit. All right.
That's right.
So the Gemara says you make this sukkah that looks like a teepee or something like a coaster. Those are postal shein lagav. Chachamim machshirin. The Chachamim say it's kosher. Sanya the acherim or meir the sanya acherim omrim sukkah asir keshuvah psula shein la zivayos. You make a sukkah like a chicken coop, a circular sukkah. It's not kosher because it doesn't have corners. It looks like a chicken coop. It doesn't look like a habitable habitation for people. The question I have over here is that Rabbi Yehuda, all these opinions say that you need ba'in and diras kva, but according to Rabbi Yehuda, he b'zimachshir sukkah lamata master mamo. So he just says you could even do a diras kva. He's machshir diras arai. You could do it within 20 tvachim, which is diras arai. He's the only one that says it. So interesting that they include him. He doesn't need a diras kva.
Right.
He allows a
That's
diras
That's
kva.
interesting.
What do you
Okay.
answer this
Very
question?
Good question. Very good question.
Write in the comments. Have a good day.
Okay, great.
We'll see you tomorrow up in
Thank you.
Yeshivas.
Have a good day.
Bye.